Welcome. This is Chris from the Craps Couple. Thanks for watching again. If you're new to this channel, thank you for coming. What we're going to do is a little something different. I'm going to put two strategies in, I guess, working together. If one doesn't work out, then I'm going to fall back to another one. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start out with our don't pass progression. I have $1,000 bankroll. If I get down to say $300. If I lose $300, I'm going to start out with a $25 minimum bet, by the way. If it doesn't work out for me after, I don't know, $300, if I lose $300 or so, then I'm going to convert to a Stearn 2.0. This is not a one strategy thing because the table has almost a 50-50 chance on whether it's hot or it's cold. And then if it's going back and forth, it also can stall out for us on the don't pass progression. So this is just a backup plan in case the don't pass progression isn't working. Now, if the don't pass progression does work, then we're not going to make a Stearn 2.0 change in the process. But the Stearn 2.0 on the pass line is a legitimate bet in regards to countering when the don't pass progression isn't working. It gets a little boring, but it also builds your bankroll back up if you go backwards. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button too. Thanks again. So here we go. $25 minimum bet is what we're going to do on the don't pass progression. If you haven't seen the don't pass progression, I'd encourage you to go back and look at the playlist that I have. I'll put a little banner at the top so you can see where that's at. So the point's going to be 8. We have $25 to bet down here with that 8. So I'm going to put 10, which will be 12, and 10 here, and then 5 on that 9. So there's 25. So I'm actually going to bet $27. That's just because you have to cap it on a table. Now at a bubble craps, stadium craps, even electronic craps, you don't have to cap that bet. But here we're playing as if it was a live table, and we're capping that because we can't pay a change. All right, dice route. 4, easy 4. Remember the point is 8, and there's a 5. All right, so that's going to be a $14 winner. Because the sister of the 5 is only at a $5 bet, I'm going to go ahead and bump the 6 up to 24, and we'll rack the 2. And aces, snake eyes, and 12. So we had snake eyes, and then we got box cars back to back. And there's that 6. That's going to be a $28 winner. So this is going to do some good for us. That's a pretty good hit. We got lucky there. So we're going to be able to raise that 5. We're going to raise that 10. And we're going to go ahead and pick up the 4 and the 10 for 5. So right now, we have satisfied the don't pass progression rules, and we can start collecting. But we're not going to get to. There's an 8. Now here again is a choice that you can make. I don't know if the table's hot or cold right now. I've already got money out here. I can choose to be aggressive and play another don't pass 25 and leave this money out here. It's going to be off on the come out, so it's not at risk on the come out roll. But if there's a 0.7, then you're going to end up losing money. So right now, because it's early on, I'm going to go ahead and play a little aggressive. And there's a 6. So the 6 is going to be the new point. Right now we're into rack land. So what we want to do is we want to move chips to our rack. And there we go. There's a 5. So that's going to be a $28 winner. We'll rack that up. There's 1 rack and a 7. So we didn't really get to go. We didn't get going on that, but we did at least make 1 hit. We didn't get exactly 0.7 out. We got 1 hit, and then it was a 7. All right, so that's the end of that shooter. So far, the strategy is not losing. Remember, I kind of count it as a game that we're playing against the casino. It's a win, loss, or a tie. I don't really call a couple of bucks winning as a win for us. I don't call a couple of bucks losing a loss for us. But if we do lose, and you'll know you're losing, I mean 25 bucks at a time, is a loss. All right, so here we go. Dice are out. And 10 is going to be the point. All right, so this is good. This is where we get to get a little bit more aggressive. We're going to go ahead and double our odds down there on the 10, which is going to give us $50 to bet. And I'm going to spread this across like that. Now, I do get a little bit more aggressive, kind of like I would at a bubble craps. I'd go ahead and I put 15 on the 6 and 15 on the 8, which here, that means I got to put 18. So I'm exposed $6. There's a 6. But one hit like that reduces your exposure. That's a $21 winner on that 6. The sister number is going to get raised up to 36. So that was it's a good hit. And we're going to rack $3. So we're now still exposed. We're exposed $3. And there's an 8, and we just raised that up. So that is fantastic. That's going to be a $42 winner. So same game. I'm going to raise the 6 up to $36. And because we had a pretty good hit there, I can actually increase the 5 and the 9 and rack the 4. Now we've got some big money out there and we don't have much to cover. 4, hard 4. So we're looking for another hit on the inside. There's another 4, back-to-back little Joes. And that's the way it can go. It can just do back-to-back little Joes. It can go box cars. You just really never know what exactly it's going to do. 5. There we go. That's going to be a $28 winner. So we're going to pay this in 5s. So $28. We're going to go ahead and pick up the 4 for 10. And you could buy that at this time. I'm just going to play it straight up. And a 7 out. Bummer. So we didn't get going. We made a couple of bucks. I call it even though. Even though we made a couple of bucks, until we really get to rack, it's not a win. And when we get to rack land, it's pretty evident, you know, when we're doing that. So we'll rack that up. We didn't lose any money, but we're not gaining ground right now. But that's better than going backwards. And there's a 7. There's a backwards move right there. That's one loss. And let's see what happens here. There's an 8. So an 8 has been pretty hot. I'm going to have to get some more 5s. And I'm going to throw away a 5. All right, so 10, 10, 5. And we'll cap that 6 for 12. And dice are out. There's a 4. Little Joes have been hot. So far, we've seen, what, three of those? 4 of those. There's another Little Joe. So pretty hot table when it comes to that Little Joes. There's a 5. That's good. It's going to be a $14 winner. And because we have the 9 only at a single unit, I'm going to actually raise the 6 up to 24. It's just a personal preference. You don't have to follow that exactly. You can do whatever you feel. There's another Little Joe. Should be betting the 4s instead of the 9. 6, good. $28 winner on that. That's excellent. That's getting lucky on those bets we're making on. We're raising the right number at the right time. So I'm going to be able to pick up everything and we'll rack the 3. So, whoops. So we're going to have everything satisfied at this time. So now we're in rack land. All we need are some points. All right, there's a 5, $28. So getting up to that racking point quickly is a game changer. And there's a 7 out. So we're not getting going, but at least we're getting to that point to where we're not losing money. Again, I don't call it a win. I call it more of a break even, but it's better than going backwards. And there's another 8. Point's going to be 8. So we're going to have $10 5. Same thing. The 5s and the 6s have been hitting. So I'm going to cap that 6 at 12, and we got 10 on the 5 and 5 on the 9. And another Little Joe. I don't know why I didn't bet on that. And there's a 5. All right, $14 winner. Again, because we only have not 5 on that 9, I'm going to raise that 6 up here. That'll bring it to $24, which makes it a $28 winner. And there's another 5. Now that I already have done that one, I've already raised up the 6, I'm going to raise that 5 and we'll rack the 4. And dice route. And there's a 9. So we'll just let it feed itself. That'll be a $7 winner. Now the down of the 9 is satisfied. And there's another 9. That's going to be a $14 winner. Now we're going to get to distribute a little bit. So 14 bucks. Pick up the 4. Pick up the 10. Rack the 4. I'm going to call it Rackland. And there's a 7 out. Bummer. Still not getting going. And this is the way it can go. It's a struggle sometimes. And when it's a struggle, it's okay. I mean, the struggle means that the table hasn't really showed you if it's going to go backwards or forwards. I'm going to get some change here. Get some 5s, actually. 4. And we'll swap that out. Do that. And so that's what this does. It buys you time until the table shows you kind of what it's going to do. So there's a 4. Now, the 4s have been hot, but I don't let that discourage me, even though it might be unwise not to let it discourage me. I am going to bet double odds on that, which gives me 50 bucks to bet. So again, inside, I'm doing 15 on the, it'll be 18 on the 6, 18 on the 8, and $10 on the 5 and 9. All right, let's see what we got. There's a 5. That's going to be a $14 winner. So that's good. We'll raise the 9 since it is now equal to the 5. Now it's up, satisfied. And there's another 5. Since the 9's already been satisfied, you can make a decision here. You want to pick up the 5 or you want to pick up the 6. I'm going to go for the 6. Wait, no, I can't because that's twice. I have to go for the 5. Because I really want to be able to satisfy it in one bet. And there's a yo. I don't know if you guys hear the rain, but it just started coming down. And there's another 5. Great. That's a $28 winner. So we can now raise that 6 up to $36. And we got about 10 bucks. I'm going to go over and rack that. So even when we're stalling a little bit, maybe we're doing all right. We can stay away from that point. Right now we want some inside numbers, and we got a 7. Not that inside. That's too far inside. So we didn't lose. Again, I call it even. There's 25 on that and 25 on the odds. And we'll give this all back to the dealer. So nothing really to write home about right now. We're stalled. But can we get off a top dead center? There's another 4. So we're going to now do the same thing. I'm going to need some change. And we'll cap the 6 and the 8. Here we go. Nice route. There's a 9. It's going to be a $14 winner. And we'll do this for a little while, but I do want to make sure that I'm showing, hopefully, that if we go backwards, there we go. It went backwards. So we lost the $75. So that was a pretty big loss. Going back out there with the $25 don't. I did raise my bets a little bit, but we're going to keep them out there. Matter of fact, I have to regress down because I only have $25 coverage. So we are going to regress. Let's bring that down. Leave that there. And we'll regress that down. So through this regression, I am putting some money back in my rack, which is okay. Point is 8. See what happens. Yo 11. That was a yo. Turned over. There's a 3. Ace deuce. And there's a 4. 4s are hot. So I don't think I'll play against that 4 again. It did come out for us though, right? All right, so there's going to be a $14 winner. I'm going to rack that. I'm sorry, we're going to raise that 6 up. We now have 24 on that 6. We've been pretty hot on our bets, so maybe we'll get that 6. Nope, got the 8. So there's another loss. That's our second loss in a row. So we know we're officially going backwards. And there's back on that 8. I'm going to leave that increased 6 out here where I had it up to 24. Just being a little bit aggressive. Not too much, though, within reason. And there's a 6. So $28 winner there. And this is what, I've played, how I've played, and it's done pretty well for me. Doesn't mean it does well all the time. It certainly does not. No strategy does. But this one has been doing all right. There's another 6, and there's a $28 winner. So we're now in rack land because we got everything covered. And there's an 8. That's a point. So that's not really a loss because we did rack one. And because the table is kind of going back and forth, I am going to regress this down. And I'm going to have to get some more room in my rack. So let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. And let's do that. All right. So we got to come out with 25 bucks on our bet. And that was more of an even round. And there's a 7. That's a loss. So we did reset. So that is 1 loss in a row. And there's a 5. 5's somewhat been hot. And I say that because it can make a difference. If a point is hot and it's consistently hitting, then if you have a place bet on that, or if that's the number, snake eyes, aces, then for whatever reason, it's got a higher likelihood if this is the time where that number decides to get hot. All right, it's going to be a $14 winner on that 6. I'm going to raise that 8 and rack the 2. So far this session, we've not really went real backwards, real forward. It's just been kind of a hovering thing. But that is a $28 winner on that 8. So we are getting these bets right. At least luckily, we're getting them right. It's able to, the winnings are giving us the ability to make all the way across all the place bets with with a bet, right? So there's another 8. We'll get to rack this. It's $28. I know that was a weak roll, but it counts. And there's a 5. There's the point. So, do we regress, or we go for it? So let's go for it. Here we go. We're leaving our bets out there. There's an 8. 8 is going to be the new point. I'm going to move this over to the 5. Take the singles, and we're racking. And there's a 4. That's going to be a $9 winner. So I'm going to give 2 red for 1 white. So there's 1. Actually, it'd be 2. And there's the 8 again. Oof. All right. So we only got 2 racks so far, and we're going backwards. So let's go. And there's the 6. 6 is going to be the new point, and it's been kind of hot. So the table is seeming like it might be heating up a little bit. There's a 4. It's going to win 10 for 1. So we'll call that 3. And there is a 10. It's right there on the edge, but that's going to be 10 for 1. That's going to be 4 wins, and then there's a 7. So we didn't go, it's kind of one of those, that's in between. We wasn't really getting strong hits on our racks, on the place bets that we had out there. So I'm going to call that probably a loss, at least 1 loss. So we'll say that is a loss in dice route. And 8 is the point. Try the 28 bucks. And if this doesn't hit, we're going to probably say that this strategy isn't going to work at this moment. And there's a 6. That's going to be a $14 winner. So we'll raise that 5 up. Now the 5 is the number that we want. And we got the 8. That's another backwards move. So it's a points hit. The table is obviously hitting points now. And there's another loss. So that's 3 losses in a row. Before I switch to the Stearn 2.0 on the pass line bet, I'm going to go for 30 here. I'm just raising it up a little bit. And there's a 6. And we're going to see how that works out for us. So I'm going to leave my bets out there as they are. And there's a 7 out. All right, so right now, let's see, there's 25, 30. We've raised the bet. So now I'm going to be looking to see if this is going to do any better for us. Still staying on the don't pass progression because I haven't went backwards enough to make a move yet. There's a 10. We got 30 here, so that means we could double our odds with 60. That's going to give us $60 to play with. So let me get some change on that. Well, here we can make some pretty bold moves. We can go 20, go 20, and then 10, and 10. Let's see. And then I am going to be at risk an additional $8. Again, you wouldn't be at risk on the bubble craps. 5, it's going to be a $14 winner. We're going to put that on the sister number over here. 9, and we'll rack 4. So now we're exposed $4. And there's a 7. So we lost $4. Not great, but I call it even. All right, so we got 30, 10, 20, 30. Stack that and match that. There we go, 30 and 30. We'll rack this back up. So right now, no real big wins. We've been going backwards a little bit. Give it one more shot. Let's see what happens. There's a 6. It's going to be our last shooter. If it doesn't go anywhere, we're going to just wait till session 2 on this hybrid strategy of the Stearn 2.0 with the don't pass progression. But you can see while we're going backwards, we're going backwards because the points are being hit or a come out 7 happens. And if that happens, that means the pass line's winning. Now, if the pass line is winning, this strategy is not going to work. Doesn't mean that it can't change midstream, but you don't want to fight it for too long because your bankroll will get depleted. There's an 8. It's going to be a $14 winner on that 8. Because I don't have a sister number, I am going to raise that 8, so it'll take it to 24. All right, what are we looking for? An 8. That's going to be a $28 winner. $28 winner, raise that 5. Let's take the 4 to 10 and let's do a $5 10, and we're going to call it satisfied. And there's a 3, ace deuce. It doesn't help. And a 9. That's going to be a $28 winner. Let's see it happen this time. If not now, when? If not me, who? All right, so that's going to be a $28 winner. That's 2. So we're going right now, and then we stopped. Got to quit talking about it, right? All right, so that's going to be 20, 30. That's going to take care of that. So we're going to stop right there. We did start with a $1,000 bankroll. I don't think anything really changed. We probably went backwards a little bit, but not too much. Let me go ahead and change this out for some color here, and probably change this out for some color so we can count it easier. All right, so we have 500 there, which we didn't get into. We look like we're one shy from 500 here, so 475 plus 15 is going to be 490, and we got about $19 here. So we're right there at what, 509? If I did the math right, yeah, we're at 509. We've won $9, so not a win by any stretch, but not a loss either. When it's stalling like that, it's it's kind of frustrating because you're getting right to that edge where you're about to win, and it seems like it gets taken away from you. That's okay. I would continue to play at that way for a little while longer to see if it's going to work out for you. But if it continues to hit points or come out sevens, come out 11s, continue to hit, and you go backwards, we did go up to 30 bucks. We started out with $25 bankroll. If you have to reset because you got 3 losses in a row twice, even if that might be a measure for you. If you get 3 losses in a row twice, then it might be time to convert to the Stearn 2.0. Hopefully we can catch that on camera, and I'll be able to show you how that'll work out. But either way, the strategy doesn't always work. As you could tell, we didn't make, but we only made $9. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you again next time.